Hi guys, I'm Eileen. Today, I want to share with you the 10 classic luxury items I'm glad I didn't buy. These are all very timeless pieces that might actually be worth the investment for some people, but I don't think they would have worked in my wardrobe. I love doing videos like this because it gives me the chance to reflect on my spending. And looking back, I really thank myself for not buying a lot of these items. So hopefully this video will serve as a gentle reminder, because if you miss out on something today, chances are you might not actually care in a few weeks' time. And now without further ado, let's get started. So the first luxury item I'm really glad I didn't buy is a Rolex watch. I only have one watch in my collection, which is my Rolex Datejust 31 with diamond dials and white gold bezel. When I was shopping for this watch, I did consider the Rolex Datejust 31 with diamond bezel. That is a beautiful watch, and I was really tempted, thinking I might upgrade my watch in the future anyway, so I might as well skip that step and go straight for the more expensive version. But now I'm really glad I didn't go for that watch because it's a bit too flashy as an everyday watch for me. I don't think I'll be comfortable displaying so much diamond on my daily timepiece. Whereas with this watch, it does have the diamond dial, so it's not exactly the most low-key watch, but I actually feel really comfortable wearing it out and about. The second luxury item I'm really glad I didn't buy is a Chaumet diamond ring. I've mentioned in a previous video that I don't actually have an engagement ring, even though my husband and I have been married for nearly 9 years. Long story short, when we decided to get married, I convinced my husband to spend that money on our house deposit instead. To this day, I still think it's one of the best decisions we've made together. Anyway, 4 years after we got married, my husband wanted to buy me a ring because we were doing better financially. So one of the rings I was looking at was the Chaumet Josephine ring. It's not exactly like a conventional engagement ring, but I really loved how it looked on me. The customer service at Chaumet was brilliant, and we were served glasses of champagne. I was really close to buying that ring, but then I stopped and asked myself, do I really love this ring, or am I under the influence of alcohol? I think that's a good reason why luxury houses always have their champagne ready for their customers, because it really helps to close the deal. Anyway, I decided to walk away from the ring, and I think I did the right thing. Some of you know I have a Tiffany & Co. Eternity diamond ring, which I don't wear often because it can feel a bit bulky. Seeing the Chaumet ring is quite substantial. I have a feeling I might not wear a lot either. To be honest, I'm no longer actively looking for a ring, and I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. The next luxury item I'm really glad I didn't buy is a Birkin 25. So before I got my Hermes Birkin 25 in the black Epsom leather and gold hardware, my SA did offer me a Birkin 25 in the color cray, which is a milky white color. That bag was in Togo leather and with gold hardware. I think the color cray with the gold hardware is such a dreamy combination, but I was really worried about staining and color transfer, so I passed on it. I'm very glad I waited it out and got my black Birkin instead, because I might only have that one Birkin in my collection ever. So I wanted something that would go with everything and quite worry-free. Whereas with the Birkin 25 in the color cray, it's something I prefer to just admire from afar. This is why I always say when it comes to luxury shopping, we should never settle for anything less than perfect, because our hard-earned money really deserves the very best. The next luxury item I'm really glad I didn't buy is a Chanel Extra Mini Flap. So about 4 to 5 years ago, I was searching high and low for a Chanel Mini Flap in the black pattern leather and with silver hardware. So I called the Chanel stores and they managed to find one, but it was the Extra Mini Flap. That bag is super adorable, but also very, very tiny. I was really tempted, even though I knew I actually wanted the mini flap, because with Chanel, everything sells out so quickly. So I thought if I couldn't get the Chanel mini flap, the extra mini flap would just have to do. In the end, I decided to leave it because I just couldn't get over how small the bag was. And it turns out to be a very good decision because a few months after that, Chanel actually released the mini flaps in the exact specifications I was looking for. Another bag I'm really glad I didn't buy is the Chanel Gabrielle bag. These bags were launched in 2017 and they've been really popular. Although I must say I've not seen them around as much on social media recently, so please let me know if you think these bags are trendy pieces, and if so, do you think the trend is going? Anyway, at first I didn't pay a lot of attention to these bags, but when I started seeing more and more of them on social media, I started looking into them and I thought the design was one of a kind. Apparently, there are 7 ways you can wear it, so you can certainly get very creative with styling the bag. I was really excited to try them out in the store, but when I saw the bag in person, I was a bit underwhelmed. Personally, I prefer bags with simple designs, so I think there's just a bit too much going on with the Gabrielle bag for me. I was also quite surprised to find out that this bag didn't fit as much as I thought. I think that's to do with the shape of the bag because it tapers from top to the bottom, so the narrow base will limit how much it can fit on the inside. So I think the Chanel Gabrielle is one of those bags that I admire seeing on other people, but I'm really glad I didn't buy it because I don't think it would have worked in my wardrobe. Another luxury bag I'm really glad I didn't buy is the Chanel Jumbo Classic Double Flap. So a number of years ago, I was seriously contemplating about getting a Chanel Jumbo Flap. I remember there was a price increase in the UK, but not in other parts of Europe. My friend was visiting Italy, so I thought I'll ask her to get a Chanel Jumbo Flap for me, mainly because the price difference was massive. To be honest, I don't know what I was thinking because I've tried the Chanel Jumbo Flap in the store myself and it was a bit too heavy for me. So I think I was just experiencing the fear of missing out. Luckily, I didn't pull the trigger because I don't even use my Chanel Classic Flap in the size small that much. And I think if I ever get a jumbo flap, I will prefer the single flap version and I'll get it from the second-hand market. Luxury item number 7 I'm glad I didn't get is the Hermes Constance mini bag in the black box leather and with gold hardware. When my SA offered me this bag, I was already in 2 minds because I knew how delicate box leather was. However, seeing Constance bags are so hard to come by, I didn't want to write off, so I went in to see the bag, and it was beautiful. The box leather was so soft and supple, but I was so scared to even touch the bag. So I told myself I couldn't spend so much money on a bag I'll be too scared to use. And you know what? I went into Hermes on Saturday and I thought if I bought the bag, I would use it on a wedding the next day. At the wedding, someone accidentally knocked over some water and spilled it all over me. So it would have been devastating if I was carrying the Constance mini bag in the box leather. So now I generally prefer worry-free materials such as the Chanel Caviar leather and the Hermes Epsom leather. Another luxury bag I'm really glad I didn't buy is the Louis Vuitton Noir. I ordered this bag online sometime last year after watching a lot of YouTube videos. I thought it would make a very good everyday bag, seeing it's quite a good size and the Louis Vuitton canvas is so worry-free. A lot of people say the design for the Noir is like a combination between the Neverfull and the Speedy. I've never been interested in the Neverfull, but I love my Speedy Bandolier 25, so I thought I'll give it a try. However, when I received the bag, I was a bit underwhelmed. As a shoulder bag, I think the Noir drops at a very good place, but it can feel a little bit bulky. I was also not very sure about the drawstring because it did feel like it was in the way when I was trying to get in and out the bag. So I'm really glad I listened to myself and returned the bag the very next day. I'm also really glad I didn't buy any luxury long wallet. I'm not sure if it was a trend, but before the whole mini bag trend started, it felt like everyone had a long wallet with like 20 cards in it. At that point, I was using this Burberry short wallet and it was working perfectly fine. But I guess I was just following the trend and I started looking into luxury long wallets, especially the Louis Vuitton Sarah wallet. Back then, they had the multicolor versions, which were absolutely beautiful, and I nearly caved in. I'm really glad I didn't because it would actually be quite pointless for me to have a long wallet, seeing I only carry very little, including 2 credit cards, my driving license, and some cash. I also usually prefer smaller bags, so a long wallet would be quite tricky to fit in all my bags. So yeah, I really thank myself for not spending a fortune on any luxury long wallets. So those are the luxury pieces I'm really glad I didn't buy, even though these items might actually work very well in someone else's closet. So it just really shows fashion is never one size fits all, and only you know what works best for your own wardrobe. On that note, I would also like to encourage everyone to be mindful and not rush into anything when it comes to shopping. It's always better to miss out on something rather than spending a lot of money on something that's not perfect for you. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to share, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next one. Have a nice day.